I'm back and I have cold brew. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Haley. I don't really know what to say in my intros, so I guess let's just get into it. So today I'm doing just like books that I'm currently reading. I'm just gonna tell you guys what I'm currently reading, so let's go. Alrighty, so I have 4 books that I'm currently rereading. One of them is a reread. So the first one that I started is The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell. So back in back in July, Books with Friends had their book of the month, and this was it. And I was supposed to read it in July so that I could watch the live show at the end of the month, and here I am in the end of September. But I only have this much left, so I mean I'm getting there. If you don't know what it's about, I don't think I can tell you because I haven't read it in a long time. Let's see. Basically, these people live in New York, and I'll show you the map, so there's a map. This like black line right there represents it's called the brink, and if you have magical powers, you can't go outside of the brink or else you die or lose your powers or something. So basically, it is also a time travel book. People say that it's a historical fiction, but I wouldn't. I think people say that just because they go back in time, but I don't like historical fiction, and I do really like this book. And I don't see this as historical fiction. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but yeah, so anyways, it's kind of like the show The Order on Netflix, if any of you have seen that. I recommend it. It's really good. You have to give it a chance though, and there's only 1 season, so you should watch it. But anyways, there's a group of people in this book called The Order, and okay. They're called The Order, and then there's another group of people with magical powers, and they are the mages. So the Order is like the bad guys, like they use magic for the wrong purposes, or they're the ones that created the brink, so that like the mages can't escape, or else they'll die or whatever. So basically, we have this main character named Esta, and she has to go back in time and basically steal this book without ruining everything that happens in the future, because it goes back like 100 years in time, so there's a lot of stuff that can happen in 100 years. But so yeah, Esta goes back in time to steal the book, because the book reveals how to, oh my gosh, I don't really know, something about the brink that they want to change. But yeah, that's the premise of this book. I'm sorry I can't give it much detail. I've read this much of it. This much. I'm on page 403, and I still can't tell you what it's about. But that's bad, but I really do like this book. I don't know. There is a second book. It's called The Devil's Thief. I think there's going to be a third book too, but I do have The Devil's Thief on my bookshelf, so I do plan on reading it once I finish this. So yeah, that's the first book, The Last Magician, Lisa Maxwell. The second book that I'm currently reading is also a book that I mentioned in my popular books that I haven't read yet, which I'm actually uploading after this video, so a little spoiler. But yeah, this is a very, very popular book on BookTube by a very popular author. It's actually a series, and I love it. I'm not very far into it. I'm on the first book of the whole series. Yeah, and that is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I know, I've never read this. I've never read A Court of Thorns and Roses. This is the first book I'm reading by her. I am this far into it. Let's see, I'm on page 171. Yeah. So since it is so popular on BookTube, I'm sure you guys all know what it's about, but I guess I'll give you my little summary. Hopefully it'll be better than The Last Magician's summary was. So Throne of Glass, there's this like super like badass assassin named Selena, and she basically has to go and fight 23 other like assassins and warriors and stuff to win her freedom. And I guess that's all I really know because I'm not that far into it. I mean, I've heard spoilers, which sucks. I've heard spoilers, but it's fine. So I kind of know what happens. And obviously, since there's like 6 books, I think I might know what happened in the end of this book. I don't think she's gonna die. But, anyways, I also know a thing about Selena that you're not supposed to know till like the 3rd book or the end of the 2nd or something. So, it kind of sucks. But, yeah, Throne of Glass. It's the 2nd book that I'm reading. Okay, the 3rd book is my reread. Don't judge me, but I'm rereading the Twilight series. Yeah, I understand that it's for middle grade, kind of. Like, the writing style is not as great as some of the other, like, YA and adult books, but come on, it's Twilight. This book holds a special place in my heart. Like I talked about my BookTube newbie tag, this series was one of the series that got me into reading. I remember me and my mom binge watched the first 4 movies, and then the 5th one, because the 5th one like just came out, and then we literally spent one whole day watching the first 4 movies, and then we went out that night to see the 5th movie, and now I do own them all. But yeah, like, it's Twilight. Everyone knows what Twilight's about. I'm not even gonna explain it. Twilight. I am on page 390, so I've read this much of it. I have this much left, so not bad. Yeah, that is Twilight. Okay, the last book I'm reading. 10 out of 10 recommend this book to everybody. Everybody needs to read this book. It is amazing. It's the perfect fall read. It's not super scary. Like, I can stay up at night and read this and not be scared when I turn the lights off or whatever. It's not, I don't know. It's not that scary. It's, I mean, The Whisper Man by Alex North. Yeah, so this book I'm actually flying through. I started it not too long ago and I'm almost done with it. But basically it's a crime thriller story, kind of. And the main character, Tom, moves to Featherbank with his son Jake after Jake's mother, Tom's wife, died. Which, that's not a spoiler, because that happens literally, like, in the beginning. Like, it literally says it in the premise of the story on this. So anyways, they moved to Featherbank, and in Featherbank, years and years ago, like 20 years ago, there was a man nicknamed the Whisper Man who lured and killed children, and the way he lured them was by whispering their names, like, through their windows, or they would, like, come inside their house and, like, whisper through the doors or whatever. And they caught the man. That's not a spoiler either, because he's like in jail. This is like 20 years later. And so they didn't find out that was a thing until they arrived in Featherbank, because they moved into the scary house that a lot of kids are scared of, for whatever reason. It just looks scary. I don't want to say too much without spoiling it, but I'm going to read the last couple things of the premise. So, it says, just as Tom and Jake settle into their new home, a young boy vanishes. His disappearance bears an unnerving resemblance to Frank Carter's crimes. Frank Carter is the Whisper Man, by the way, from 20 years ago. Reigniting old rumors that he preyed with an accomplice. Now, detectives Amanda Beck and Pete Willis must find the boy before it is too late, even if that means Pete has to revisit his great foe in prison, the Whisper Man. And then Jake begins acting strangely. He hears a whispering at his window. ... Read this book. So good. Read the book. I promise you, if you don't like thrillers, it's really not that thrillery. I mean, like, right now where I'm at, it's starting to get crazy. It is. But before that, it's like, it is crazy before that. Like, the whole book from start to where I'm at, I hope, start to finish, is going to be insane. And there's a lot of, like, my mind's blanking, I'm so sorry. Plot twists. Why could I not think of that word? Plot twists. This book has many plot twists. And it also just has a lot of, like, moments that make you just, like, pew, you know? Like, what just happened? But not in, like, a confusing way. Like, a, oh my god, I can't believe that just happened way, you know? So, yeah. This book is crazy. I remember there was a certain point where we found out a significant piece of information that I will not say. And I shut my book, and I was like, you're joking. This is a joke. You're kidding. Like, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe that just happened, you know? But yeah, it is really good. I highly recommend, especially now because it is fall. It is the 23rd today. Definitely check this out. Alright. Those are all 4 of the books that I'm reading right now. They're all pretty thick. But, yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you subscribe. What else do I say? I'm new to this. Subscribe, follow my social media, like the video, share my video around. Click the bell to get notifications when I upload next. And I think that's all I have to say. Comment down below if you've read any of these, or if you are currently reading any of these, or honestly comment down anything. I want to do a buddy read, so comment down below if you want to do a buddy read with me and we can figure that out. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.